So if you don't want to be judged on all the ridiculous things that you think and are too ashamed to say it out loud, like, don't judge other people for it. But this is from YouTube, from Mindy Sabiston. Have you been asked a question from the audience that hits on a topic in your relationship that is touchy subject that you two haven't discussed and resolved amongst yourselves, and how did that go?
Yes, we've been asked a million touchy subjects for Swayze, and there have been 100 times where I've wanted to say something to you in Greek, and then I've thought, somebody is going to drop this in to like Google Translate and be like, oh, he just said, XYZ in Greek. And then I thought, plus, like, this is really only going to deliver value if we can really talk about shit. So I've actually never once asked you to stop on a touchy subject. So for anybody that like wants to see, like, hey, go back and watch the episodes. So no, we've never said, oh, this topic is off topic or whatever. So yeah, we talk about it. I think when it's a value clash, we've said, like, this is a value clash for the two of us. We don't see this the same way. I think that the way that we interact with each other is respectful. So I've never had too much tension around something like that. So yeah, from that perspective, like, the value of the show, I think at least some of it is watching how we deal with each other when we don't agree on something. So yeah, that's
actually really interesting, because that's the one thing we try, and it doesn't mean we always succeed, but we try to make sure that we don't bring like elevated emotions to the table when we talk about things. And that's why
on camera or off.
On camera and off, yeah. And I think that that's actually really important. Like,
which we used to suck at, and I was really bad at.
Yes, we used to really suck at it.
Yeah.
You're saying our emotion side of it.
Yeah, like coming to something like heated, you wait to bring it up until you're heated. And that's the thing, like that, the straw that broke the camel's back. So now you finally bring it up, but you're already wound up. Now I think we're very good about, even if we're wound up, we de-escalate before we start talking.
Yeah, and that's the thing, that if there's any subject, like, no subject is off limits to us when we talk. Because I think it's so important. Like, there's nothing that I think I would feel like I was hiding it from you if there was a subject I couldn't talk to you about, right? And then in feeling like I'm hiding something from you, it makes me feel disconnected to you. So for instance, in fact, I don't think I told you this. So yesterday or the day before, you were traveling, and I'd forgotten to give Bonsai his ear meds. And I felt so guilty. I was like, I can't tell him. He's going to judge me as a mother. Oh my God, I'm not going to tell him that I did it late. And then the second you asked me, I was like, yes, I forgot. Like, I just...
Yeah, you're like, you can't give it to him yet.
I just blurted it out because I was like, even the guilt of feeling like I couldn't tell you.
Right.
Like, I just felt so guilty, like I was hiding something from you. So I was like, yeah, I don't think I gave it to him around 12. All right, it was 1 o'clock. And I just had to blurt it out because I just felt too guilty in keeping it. But that's where we've got on our relationship. That even the small, ridiculous things that other people are like, why didn't you just lie, Lisa? He's never going to know. Who cares? It's the emotional disconnect that over time, that one little like, oh, I forgot to give Bonsai his ear meds, turns into another thing and another thing and another thing. And before you know it, I feel like I'm not telling you everything. And then... so that makes me feel disconnected to you. So I think that that's really important, that we've always said we should talk about everything. Everything. The good, the bad, the super ugly, because we don't judge each other and we don't hold it against each other. And that's massive. Like, if you want to receive that, you've got to give it. So if you don't want to be judged on all the ridiculous things that you think and are too ashamed to say it out loud, like, don't judge other people for it.
For Schways.
So basically on camera, we're exactly the same. We just talk through things, even when we disagree. For me, I just make sure that I don't get upset, because at least, like, if we get into a disagreement offset and I get upset, I'll walk away because I know that doesn't help the discussion. Right. So I'll be like, babe, I can't talk about this right now. Give me some time, and I'll walk off. Now, filming, can't do that, but I've never really felt...
Yeah, it's a different vibe. Yeah. B, it's like anything like that for us would be so fucking specific. Yeah. No one would know to ask. And then even if they did, I think we'd answer it in the abstract. So, that's true. Because that doesn't mean that there aren't things that you and I discuss off camera that are tense And we would never do that on camera.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, at least thinking about how I'd react, I would just abstract it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and also like, God, I'm far from perfect. So any things that I have to work through, it's obviously easier to work through it off camera.
Yeah,
because
for sure
I can process it. I can go, okay, I know you're being ridiculous, Lisa. Take deep breaths, walk off, go pet the puppies, things like that. Whereas obviously you can't do it on camera. But
it's also like, and I know we're out of time, but it's a really interesting insight because as we're saying this, I'm like processing through like, why do I have exactly no tension about that? About somebody asking something we don't want to talk about or we haven't resolved. And I think part of it is the power of knowing that the camera's on you means I'm going to de-escalate my emotions. Like I'm not going to, and then that made me think like, it's such a powerful reminder that you're like the emotion you project to the other person, you're going to get back. So if you come in a little bit hot, then they're going to give it back. And then you're going to be, it ends up being this ever escalating arms race. Whereas on camera, it's like, even if I felt like a twinge of aggression or something, no way. So yeah, definitely not. Yeah. So, and that's really a powerful reminder that off camera, all you have to do is approach it with a light heart and you can get through some crazy conversations. So it's actually really neat. It's one of the reasons that like the show is so valuable. We get the time to just talk through things, and then always we're like in such a, because we're both thinking about adding value to the audience. Mm-hmm. Like this is about, okay, watch us facilitate through this. So we're sort of at the best of our best,
right?
Which is really nice.